Okay, next question is, I want to know too, kasi I don't get it. Bakit uso sa mga babae ang toyo culture?
What's that?
See, I don't know either. I think maybe it's a
No,
Gen
I
Z
think I
thing.
know. No. Toyo culture is yung
May
glorified crazy. Glorified
Okay.
crazy.
May toyo ka.
May toyo ka. In relationships, di ba, parang the crazier you get, the more you can boast na under the saya yung boyfriend mo dahil he tolerates the crazy. Yeah.
Not a fan of it.
Diba?
Me too.
Yeah, not a
I don't
fan of
get it. Yung kasunod nung question was, feeling ba nila ikinakute nila yun?
Yung
my
sobrang
gosh,
possessive.
Yung may mga screenshots of conversations.
Sa Facebook. Sa
Facebook.
Facebook.
Break na tayo. Tapos parang nagmumurahan and then biglang pati na tayo. Something like...
Yeah, ganun. Or yung
Joke
mga
lang
nakipag-break
po.
dahil sa kalamansi, yung hindi kumuha ng kalamansi sa Chowking.
Yes.
Mga ganyan. Yung mga ganyang screenshots, right? So,
Correct.
I guess because they see it in mainstream media. They see it in Tagalog movies. Yung mga, nagwawala, nagsasabunutan. So parang they apply it to real life because that's the perception that they think is normal. They think that's normal. So maybe that's what encourages toyo culture, mainstream Tagalog movies.
To add to that, I think monkey see, monkey do. They feel like the more drama, the more intense the emotions, the more value it holds in the relationship. Yung parang pag masyado kayong intense, hindi kasi ganoon talaga kami mag-love, parang passionate. Pero in reality, no, you look stupid and it's immature. So grow up.
So toxic.
Galit!
Grow up!
Hindi kasi parang we have to stop glorifying this because it's toxic. Simply put, it's toxic. It's toxic for the boys. It's toxic for the girls, and no one really wins. Parang, wala, feeling lang natin it's funny, but in reality, it's not funny when you're the one in that
and it's not cute. Hindi siya cute. Pregnant tayo. Ayaw mo kong ihatid. Because I'm trying to get it from their perspective. Kasi I've never been in a proper relationship for me to have toyo moment. So I don't get the toyo thing. When I see it, I see other women that really are crazy, but I've never experienced it. So parang...
You know what? I think it's a test. Like in our generation, what was the test for the boys? Dadalhin ba niya yung bag ko? Ganon. Like, does he mind carrying my bags? Or will he choose me over Dota or something? Like,
yes! Oo nga.
Right? So I guess
yung sinisira nila yung mga PlayStation 5, right? Internet.
Will you mind? Will you stay? I think that's it. Like,
correct. Test.
This generation's test is like, let me act crazy and push him away. I mean, we had our version of that, like pushing guys away to test them, right? Ito lang medyo exposed lang kasi it's on text.
It's not attractive, yun na lang.
Not gonna do you any good. I don't know if it's a role play thing also.
If it's a kink, ewan ko, but it's the guy's problem. We don't support toyo culture, sorry.
Do not.
Speaking of culture, what do you guys think of HUBADERA culture?
It's time.
Pakiuna po yung babaeng naka-turtleneck.
Okay. Modesty and HUBADERA culture. Well, I've fought for body positivity for 10 years only to say na I reject everything I used to say about it, and I've totally taken a U-turn as I pursue Jesus and call it radical, but that's how it is. So HUBADERA culture, well, everyone's free to do whatever they want. You're a free agent, that's your body. So again, we go back to belief system, or when you strip or dress a certain way. Diba sinasabi nga nila, fashion is your first message to the world, right? Unknowingly or knowingly, if I went to this conversation with really messy hair, gunk in my eye, and a ratted shirt, that would be a sign of not being courteous to my fellow panelists, right? I mean, just the concept of uniforms. It's so important in the military world, in the academe, even in corporations. The dress code is so important because it's of value. I've fought for hubadera culture for a while na bakit? Porket mataba kami, hindi kayo pwede maghubad. Gusto ko maghubad. And I would post like really, scantily clad pictures of myself and encourage other girls to do the same. But I have apologized for that and I have addressed that in my podcast with Stacy.
I'll post a link down below if you want to hear it.
The missing conversation is that as a believer, am I putting the gaze to me and my body and certain body parts to highlight? When people see me, do they see a reflection of Christ? Parang let's just keep it simple that way. Na before I used to peacock my body, but in reality, when Adam and Eve fell, the first thing God did was to cover them, diba? But this world will keep telling you, no shame, but maybe a healthy dose of shame is fine. Maybe there's a reason why God's first move after Adam and Eve sinned was to sew them clothes from leaves. To me, hubadera culture, fine, that's your call, but ultimately, what are the consequences of that? How will men perceive you? Because I think it still matters. I see men as brothers. I don't want them thinking dirty thoughts when I present myself to them in a certain way. Parang ano na lang din siya, charity. Charitable, diba? Charitable is considering others and the good for them. So I don't think it's good for men to be graphic with their thoughts when I highlight certain body parts or when I decrease the amount of fabric on my skin. So definitely I understand hubadera culture. Even I still get tempted, with my outfits na this is gonna make me look so good, but at the end of the day, who do I really want to glorify? And what message am I sending? That's how I'm...
Hubadera culture. Good point that you brought up, like Adam and Eve, Dana. Because it's like, you know what? If we lived in a world without original sin, Hubadera culture would have been fine.
It wouldn't be a culture, it would be the norm.
It would just be the norm. That's true. The thing that I've painfully realized is that even if I did not intend to tempt anyone, even if my choice of like clothing was because it's hot, I cannot assume that everyone understands that. I cannot control everyone's response to the message of may kaseksihan, right? And so like if you're willing to deal with that reality that you can't control their reactions, go ahead. But that's the painful reality. Like you can't control it. Some people, men, women, whatever they want to identify with, will have a reaction and they'll have something to say. And so for me, like now, kasi kunwari on my Instagram, I actually decided to like look through like my thirst trap photos. And I deleted like a bunch of them. And then more recently, like someone had reached out, like a guy, and I thought he was trying to seek for, or he listened to the podcast that we did, Dana. And he just kept asking me about like my past, and he kept asking about like, hey, do you still revert back to your old self? Only to realize, oh, this guy's basically trying to ask me if I still get horny. Because he eventually said, nakaka-tempt ka kasi. And you know what? I realized back in 2015, I would have been like, oh my God, yeah.
Thanks.
I would have said thanks. It would have been such an ego boost for me. Correct. But now it's like, when someone says, nakaka-tempt ka, ang sexy mo naman, ang yummy mo naman. I'm like, one, like, why are you objectifying me? Two, dude, why are you objectifying yourself also? Like,
nice.
I don't know. It's not like a compliment when someone says that anymore. As a believer, like that's like shocks. I let you down, God. Parang sorry. Ganda ng photo, but like with 100 likes, delete.
Ang ganda nung sinabi ni Lou na you don't have control. I think ngayon kasi yung problema is you dress a certain way. Of course, it's gonna elicit responses and then you police all of the people responding negatively. Parang, we're living in a world where we all have free speech. Parang kung sinasabi mo na you're free to dress up that way, you better accept the fact that people are free to respond or react to that.
You know what my mom always told me, and I would always, parang, but she would always say, you have to be responsible then for your fellow brothers in Christ. You have to help them not sin. And I was like, that's not my responsibility, ma. Hello, dapat alam nila how to control themselves. And that's true. But at the same time, I'm still struggling because there are times that, although I've been pretty good naman, 2 years ago, I'd be, it's not my responsibility, blah, blah, blah. Rape? Okay, fine, different thing. But this is just photos, right? We're talking about photos, Hubadera photos and whatever. Can't control what they say and don't complain when they say something that you don't want to hear. Because you are putting it on a public website and an app where everybody can see it. You're putting yourself out there. So yeah, that's true. With great responsibility, with great power comes great responsibility. And that's just the truth.
Siguro to add lang, no, the male gaze is something that's been so ingrained in us. That's why it's so easy when you tell to a 3-year-old girl, sexy pose. Alam niya eh. There's a certain pose, there's a certain body language that we do na alam natin lalaking may gustong makita nito. Because honestly, you know what, if we're just gonna be real here, I just wanna be in pajamas with no bra all day, every day. But when I was in that path na parang, I have to look good, and the way I viewed looking good was from a man's perspective. Parang I also was jolted na, teka, bakit ito yung laging trajectory ng looking hot and looking good, as if ito yung term ng psychology, you have to always present yourself as fuckable. Alam mo yun? Yung parang very porn-ish. Na parang ako, shucks, this is media playing out. This is the male gaze playing out. Na yun nga yung tanong ko eh. Kasi akala ko, okay, meron akong kaeng-engan. Akala ko, itong podcast na to, gagawa ako ng mga tanong na itatanong ko sa mga girls. Alam mo yun, parang, what are the questions that you're afraid? So parang I crafted some in my head. One of the question that I was thinking about is, how can you call it empowerment when the dominator is the one dictating how you look and inaccept mo lang siya, and now winawagayway mo na yung free flag mo because, but at least ako yung nagwawagayway. Pero sino nagbigay sa'yo? Sila pa din. Alam mo yun? Yung parang it's that no one's really empowered in this whole self-objectification kind of bubble because again, object ka pa din. Parang ang end goal is object ka pa din, pero may consent ka nga lang.
May consent mo.
Pero ikaw yung nagbenta sa sarili mo. Hindi
yun, exactly.
So parang
exactly.
False empowerment. Empowerment.
Yeah, exactly.
Sige, fine. Kung norm na yung paghuhubad, pero do it parang tastefully done. Kasi merong mga, and what's the intention behind it, right? If your intention to show off your body is because, I worked so hard on this or whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes kasi the intention is really to seduce people, then that's questionable. If intention and at the same time, do it tastefully because there are some posts on Instagram na talagang super cheap na talaga. Like, they're literally showing like their ass. You don't see the photo, it's just their ass.
Or siguro context, parang to me lang, context din, di ba? If you're at the beach, malamang, mainit eh, di ba? Lahat yan parang context lang. I think that's also very much important na context is also king. We're not saying that, you should be like in a turtleneck and like wide leg pants to swim by the beach. Parang kanya-kanyang conviction yan eh, yung hubadera culture na yan. And as a believer, we are not prohibited. The Bible doesn't say na thou shalt not wear miniskirts. Walang ganun. Diba? Pero it's really the heart that Jesus wants to address here.
And it's, I guess, posting responsibly. Because right now, the hubadero culture is about people put it on their Instagram because it gets more engagement, it gets more follows, and it gets more views. Right? That's why everybody's naghuhubad.
It's a marketing strategy.
In reality, the whole day ka ba talagang ganyan? Parang take 100 million photos and pick the one wherein your bilbil is not seen. Even to men, diba? Yung ganun eh. So parang it's like, it's being true to yourself, your intention, the context of why you're posting it, and at the same time, if you really, really want to show off your body, then just do it tastefully.
Because sometimes you're on Instagram and you have a really nice photo and you're kind of just like, I'm posting this for me. I look good in it. Like, you have that like self-talk of like, hindi, para sa akin to. I'm doing this for me. It's not for everyone else. Post. And then you're nakaabang how many likes. Or you're sad because your reach is so low. Or no one commented. No one put like fire emoji, right? Yeah, so parang I will only believe you that you're doing it for yourself if you don't even post about it.
Exactly. Nice. There you go.
Oh,
Literally, every
okay.
platform that we are using right now is for everyone
To
else's
see.
consumption, to
Mm,
feed into your ego. That's why we're so addicted to it.
correct. And that's why people care about likes. Believe it or not, sis. Accept it or deny it.
That red dot notification, like that shoots up dopamine in our brains. We're addicted to that response. So
That's true.
let's be real. Galit din.
Grow up!
Passionate lang tayo dito. Okay, hindi kami galit. Passionate lang talaga kami.
passionate.
Actually, oo.
Gusto na kami sa mga crazy girls.
Pick the good kind of crazy, guys. Okay, so speaking of apps, someone asked, what do you think about women looking for relationships in dating apps?
Hey, we're in the
Dolu.
middle of a pandemic. You know, if you find love on the internet, if you find
Love
through
online.
an app,
Love online.
then good for you.
I think it's fine as long as you have boundaries and you know what you're really looking
Correct.
for.
Mm-hmm.
Dahil parang it's so easy to get lost in the validation and then soon enough you find yourself compromising a lot just because kasi andito na eh. You know, I've been in that trap, but definitely nothing wrong with dating apps. It's the way to go. I mean, it's the new normal.
It's the future.
Just be careful. Yun lang talaga yung sa akin. Be careful, discern, and set healthy boundaries.
From my experience then as well, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been in dating apps before, but I always tell people na you should just know what your non-negotiables and your negotiables are. Like, you should know now, you shouldn't do this. You should know na ganito lang yung limit mo. And you should stand your ground when you're talking to someone. Lalo na if super tight mo, ganyan, don't sacrifice your standards just because, like, he's attractive or because he's nearby or because he's so, alam mo yun, like, yun nga, stick to what you really want, what you really, really want to.
Can I add? And I guess it has something to do with expectation also. Like, my sister, she was on Bumble. Well, she still is on Bumble, right? And she matched with a guy that she thought was really cute, and they were gonna go on their first date. So she was super excited. Then during the date, when she sat down, his voice was super high pitched that she really just couldn't let it go.
Oh,
she was
no.
she went home. She was like, ate, super sayang. Like, this guy was so fun to talk to, chat with. And on the date, parang he's just too feminine. And at the same time, his voice is super high. So, hindi daw talaga nagpa-match yung face dun sa voice. So, I guess, manage your expectations. If you meet them through an app, be prepared that, when you see him in person, he might be like 5 inches shorter than you or something like that. Parang bago ma-attach yung emotions mo, siguraduhin mo muna what you're really being served with.
Well, for me, I was on Tinder when it first came out, before, it became like a hookup app. And when it was a hookup app, admittedly, I was still on it. I was also on Bumble. My main answer is a question. It's more like, why are you even dating in the first place?
Nice.
Right? Because it doesn't matter if
What
you're
are you
dating
looking for?
offline or online, but like, what is your definition of dating and why are you even doing it? Like, on a practical side, what I've learned is that, one, it's a good idea to do video calls first before you do a meetup, so you can avoid the whole like voice being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another practical advice is like, know that there is no handbook to online dating. Actually, there's no handbook to dating in general. Because I know there's a lot of people who are hung up on like situationships, whether it's from like online dating app or not. But alam mo yun, you signed up for an application where if I don't get the same amount of high as I did in my first conversation with you, I can swipe. You're so disposable. And you also do that to them. I don't know, like, just practical advice is like, be accepting of that reality that whatever you're expecting is not known to him, to the other person. Like you said, Teena, like, set the ground rules, because if not, it might not work out for you. Yeah, I mean, like, meeting people right now, like, everyone kind of needs that kind of, socialization. Just be careful. I've had horror stories that I would not wish on anyone. I've had good friendships also coming to dating apps.
And I think one thing that Lou really, that made an impact to me, na shinare sa akin ni Lou, is dating is an activity. It's not a time to emotionally invest. It's not a time to be attached. It's not a time to have sex. It's an activity to know if it's a match. And that's it. Don't make it be anything more than that. Kasi dun ka natatrap sa situationship eh. Yung nagde-date pa lang kayo pero hindi nyo alam kung kayo ba o hindi, but you're doing like couple stuff,
Yes.
that's when it gets messy. So yun, ang ganda ng perspective na yun na it's just an activity.
I remember I learned it from our group, na Bible study group namin nila Lou and Dana, na don't give them boyfriend benefits. What's the benefits about?
Parang don't give boyfriends husband benefits.
Yeah. For someone that you're just dating, parang they haven't reached that. Don't give them that prices. And also, honestly, Bumble and Tinder, some people get married, some people really have good stories, but in reality, kasi it really is a hooking app. Hooking up app.
So I just want to share, I signed up for this like online dating Christian app. Website. And ang galing because the way they vet the guys, obviously they have to be Christian, but they also train the men how to reject women properly.
Oh.
And it was parang so encouraging to see a rejection from a man in a way that tells you, hey, this does not have anything with your value, ha? And but you don't get that on dating apps. So yun, parang another practical advice is like, be ready for rejection, be secure in yourself, because you're gonna deal with a lot of rejection from these dating apps. And people are not gonna apologize.
Correct.
Doing that.
Like, I remember when I'd see a super cute guy, tapos di kami nag-match, parang ako, edi fuck you! Yan galit.
I have so much empathy for like women on dating apps.
I love how it's all connected talaga. Speaking of dating based on attraction, because that's basically what all these apps are, question is, pogi na bastos or pangit na magalang?
Single na lang.
What, Lou?
Single na lang.
For what purpose, Tina? For like...
Oh. For what? I don't know, yun lang tinanong eh. Pogi na bastos o pangit na magalang eh.
Best friend na lang, friend na lang.
I guess to date.
Single blessedness na lang.
Yeah, tama.
Why settle?
True.
Why settle? Tama.
Yeah. You can choose. Singleness is the choice also.
You know what? I really think that the generation of women now really need to learn how to just be single. Actually, that's why I picked you guys, because I wanted to...
Because we're the most single friends?
Like,
no, it's not that.
I need single.
Okay lang. Okay lang sa akin.
No,
I'm so single. Jesus is my emergency contact.
No, you know why? I think also, like, because everybody here is, you know, you can tell everybody's alpha female. Everybody's super, like, strong-willed women, which means our standards are higher when it comes to, like, now. Our standards now are higher, and there's a tendency to intimidate more men because, I guess, of how we are. Well, if they don't have the balls to stand up to women like this, next please.
Kasi I feel like we've been in the season of, or we are still, well, I am in the season of just being single and being content and learning to be happy and building that relationship with God, or building that sense of fulfillment of just being by yourself and not wanting your validation from another person. So like, I know Lou, I know Dana, Mika I just met, but I sense that vibe kasi nung nasa live stream niya ako, sabi niya, oh, you're a Christian so I can tell you how it is. Like, medyo pinagalitan niya ako, but I appreciate it kasi, you know what I mean? Like, it's all about accountability, diba? I
kasi naman barangay marupok ka nun, Tina.
No, but I represent half of the population.
She knew the answer. She just needed to hear it.
Yeah, again. Correct. Again. And I feel like a lot of the viewers are marupok. A lot of people need to hear this and to hear it from another woman who's been through that probably. Yeah. And marami din kasing masyadong atat na, oh, okay, after nag-break kami, move on to the next. Parang wait lang, chill ka muna. Maybe you should learn how to build yourself up, learn how to be single and be happy single, not wanting to have a boyfriend or not depending on another person. Ang dami kasing ganyan. Ewan ko kung minsan nairita lang ba ako dahil single ako, pero nairita ako rin sa mga, oh, I'm bored. I want to talk to a guy because like, parang marami kang pwedeng gawin sa time mo, sis. You can, read the Bible. You can talk to friends. You can join KUMU. Nag-plug. But you know what I mean? That's why I really wanted the three of you here talaga. Wala lang.
But hey, Tina, I've also seen your trajectory. I mean, wow.
Wait,
It's been a while since
again, nawala. What?
Parang I just wanted to also clap for you because I've seen you grow too. Parang grabe. As in nakita din kita ng nagpi-PhD sa karupukan. And now parang wow, it's amazing that you set up this conversation because I think a lot of girls are so hungry for this. As in,
Yes.
grabe. And thanks for the initiative. I really appreciate this.
Because I learned, like, Mika, actually, Dana's like my mentor talaga. So, I feel like if someone would look up to someone and then the other person would look up to me and then blah, 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 it's contagious eh. Like, you want ganito, you learn, you give what you've learned and then someone learns from it. And then less people, you marupok. Guys, share your learnings. Share your blessings.
Share your learnings.
Oo, diba?
Group hug. Sobrang awkward.
Grabe nga, I'm learning so much from the both of them. I actually really love it. I
love this.
I love this.
Yeah, and first time lang din kasi namin mag-meet ni Mika. So, it's a good conversation.
First time. And Luo, it's the first. And I'm already thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna follow them on Instagram right now. Like, I want to know their thoughts. I want to hear more.
That's why sabi ko, you're gonna love each other. Love it.
I love it.
I love their brain cells. I really do.
Do you not love mine? Alam ko ba yun?
We love each other's brain cells.
The questions that are medyo deep are done na, I think. Yeah, they're done na. So we can
these are the funny questions.
Yes. Speaking of pussies.
Oh my God.
Ang ganda ng segue.
Wow.
Since may pussy pong dumaan, charot, do women touch themselves? Someone literally asked that 2 times.
Of course. Of course. I've had so many girls talk about their addiction with masturbation, and I've even had an episode with my sister where we talked about self-pleasuring and all of these things. And of course, as a believer, parang our stance on it. Diba, yun na yung sinasabi ni Lu kanina na if men can do it, I can do. And of course, it spills over every aspect of your life, right? So, of course, women masturbate, but very, very gray area siya. I mean, some people can say na, well, I masturbate, but I don't think of lustful thoughts, so it's okay. But other girls can say na, I use it as a form of self-harm. So, iba-iba. I've read up on Christian authors saying they're okay with it as long as it's just a biological kind of release. Other authors say, but it's also a very spiritual thing. So, I leave the discretion up to you. But yeah, to answer that simply, yes, women masturbate.
Yes.
Next question.
Okay, sige.
No, I don't do that. You know, just to make it clear to the viewers, just in case. I don't. But yes, women do. But
not everyone. Yun na lang. Not everyone. Okay.
And I think, feel ko kasi nanggagaling yun sa question of like, men lang ba? Or is it only men who get the thoughts, right? But honestly, statistics like foreign consumption is higher with women than men nowadays.
Yeah, they created a whole category for it even. Female porn. It's a whole category on its own.
How does that work? Like, it's more emotionally charged?
Yeah, parang mas siya. Tender, soft, not hindi siya parang mga
so
wild,
romantic,
crazy.
Ganun.
And of course the emergence of like female porn directors. Ang dami na rin nila. So siguro
empowerment. Diba ganun? Yes. Okay, moving on. What do you think about period sex? Once again, not my question, but I was asked.
Did you say period sex?
Period sex.
Yeah, she said period sex.
You can just say yes or no. Parang not for me.
Ew.
What do you think about it? I wouldn't put an answer. I wouldn't say, ayun ko. I just want to leave it an open-ended, ano? But if I have a husband in the future and I'm like, please, I really want that. Hindi natin alam eh. Hindi natin alam. Hindi ko alam.
Yes. Or
But
in the
I think
shower.
it's, but I think biologically it harms the men because it shouldn't be done like that because it's dirty blood. It's dirty blood. It needs to be dispelled. So when they penetrate the female body and there's that kind of gunk going in there, they're prone to
like
infections. Yeah.
Noted. For my future husband.
No, but like when you're on your period or like during like when you're PMSing and when you get your period, parang for me personally, that's when I'm more
hormonal.
Yeah. Like I noticed that. So like I wouldn't be surprised if like you were having periods.
I heard a guy say before, real men aren't afraid of blood.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ibang topic naman kasi yun, but like...
that's true. Wow, what do you prefer on men? Shaved, trimmed, or natural?
I swear these questions, it's like, sex talks from the Christians.
But that's what they answered. No, but that's what they asked eh.
Like on their face? What do you mean?
Yeah, on their face. I like a bearded man.
On their armpits?
On their face, scruffy is cute.
They're
As long as you can still see their face.
It's so weird. You know what? I find it very weird. And weird, pero different na yung answers nyo are super like pag ganon. And then the boys were just like, sometimes trim would be nice. They were super straight na they didn't think about it that long. They know what they wanted to say.
Of course.
And are visual creatures, so may preference.
Yeah.
So are you saying no, you guys don't have a preference?
Just keep it clean. We'll be fine.
Nothing stinky.
Yeah.
Nothing
Just be
stinky.
mabango.
Don't stink.
Just be mabango.
Yeah, don't stink. Yeah.
Okay. The last question. Ayan na. Lighthearted. May nagtanong, paano ba ako mapapansin ng crush ko?
Mag-hubadera ka.
Nag-full circle na. Tapos na.
Hindi ko rin kasi alam yung sagot dyan eh. Joke.
Tingin mo kung alam namin, single ka. Joke.
If we knew why.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly, Lou. You got it.
Sabi nga ng famous song, be yourself, be yourself.
Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself.
Ano ba yun?
Okay na, Tina.
Self-love.
Tina, okay na tayo.
Be yourself. Anyways, I think
Tina,
that's a good note.
Tina.
That's a good note to end it. Tina lang.
Yeah. Huwag ka na lang mapapansin.
Kung alam niyo yung sagot, DM niyo sa amin, ha?
Wait, I want to share. Someone gave me this metaphor. One of my mentors who's a pastor. And he was like, fix your eyes on God. And I'm assuming, okay, I'll answer na lang, assuming that you're both Christian, right? And if the guy is like also fixed on God because you're walking the same path, at some point, either like you'll actually meet on the path, or God will tell you, look in that direction.
Nice.
So,
hindi mo kailangan mapapansin.
oo, hindi. Kasi kung mapansin ka niya in your own effort, that's also very tactical and very temporary.
Correct.
But if it's
Very
God,
temporary.
if God is the one who designed for you to notice that person, that's a way better plan
Correct.
than your own plan. Again,
It's
we're
God's will, it will.
talking to myself na naman.
Puro note to self tong tong video.
Go to selfie too.
So are we done? Any more answers?
You're good.
All right. Ayan. So thank you guys for joining me in this episode. I'm so happy. And sana
Thank
Picture
you,
tayo.
Tina. Thank you.
Sige.
Thanks, teens. This has been really fun.
Wait, do you guys
Thank
want to
you.
plug your social media?
Me, I'm just the dinosaurs on Instagram. Tinalagyan mo na lang ng crawler. Ito naman, editor
Yeah,
ka naman.
but you guys can say it out loud. I mean.
Follow us on Raw and Real. We're gonna be back. So my sister and I run a podcast called Raw and Real. It's our musings on faith, society, culture, and everything in between. So We're on Spotify, iTunes, and Anchor. Check us out on Instagram at rawunreal.mp3.
Yeah.
My personal account is at. Are you ready for this? At I'm Lubat.
Lubat or lubat?
But you will, well, you won't know na pala kasi I deleted the thirst trap photos. And then my other account for another advocacy is Take It Slow Co. So it's about
really
slow living. We're selling plant and home curated items there, so you can be convinced to anchor yourself and take it slow. Yeah.
Perfect. Mika?
Okay, you can follow me on my Instagram, Mika Pineda. That's M-I-C-A Pineda. Just make it clear because people think it's a K sometimes. And then same on YouTube, www.youtube.com/Mika Pineda. And KUMU, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9:30 p.m. Department of Love Affairs.
Guys, I've been what do you call us, Mika? What do you call us?
Oh, a constituent.
Yon.
And she's an EPIS. I'm proud I'm single.
I'm proud I'm single. Ipis tayo.
EPIS.
Ipis. Be an ipis.
Please, maging peace.
This is the only image that I'm ever going to support, okay? Anyways, thank you so much! Guys, send me your addresses. I'm gonna send you pop sockets of my new merch. Ganda ko, period!
Love it.
Thank you so much. This was a load of fun. Super.
So, of course, dahil walang intro, wala rin pong outro. Ayan. So, salamat po guys for watching. And I hope you really enjoyed this video because I had so much fun filming it. Not so much editing it, but I did have fun filming it because I learned a lot from these ladies. And all of their links will be down there if you want to follow them on their social media. Let me know who you want next on the series. So, that's pretty much it. Kika of the day is right here. Congratulations, you are today's shout out. If you want to be the next video shout out, just comment down below and I will pick you for the next one. With all that said, I want you guys to never forget that you are beautiful. Bye guys, I love you. Bye. God bless.